Destin Rivals is finally here, and there's so many awesome new decks to try out, like all of these decks over here. And I'm sure one of the ones that you've been seeing the most is Ethan's Typhlosion. Ethan's Typhlosion can do an insane amount of damage with its Buddy Blast attack, dealing 60 more damage for every Ethan's Adventure supporter you have in the discard pile. You can pretty quickly get to 280 damage this way, but there's a couple problems with the deck. If you hit something and you can't one-hit KO it, you have no way to spread damage after and take that KO that you rightfully deserve. Against decks that can weave in single prize attackers and multi-KOs like Gardevoir, you kind of stumble and fall and just lose your momentum too quickly. So how do we fix all of these problems? Well, by combining it with the best deck, of course. Welcome to Ethan's Dragapult. This is my pretty interesting take on Ethan's Typhlosion by combining the good aspects of it with the good aspects of Dragapult. Another problem that Ethan's deck faces is a draw engine. In the late game, if you get Iono to 1 or 2, you can have a really tough time finding that game-winning boss that you so desperately need. And we can also keep some of the other amazing benefits of the Ethan's Typhlosion deck, like being a completely single prize deck. If you do not want to use Dragapult, you don't have to. In case you didn't see the list the first time, here it is a second time. Get a good look at it because you're gonna wanna play it for days and days and days after today's video. We're gonna hop right in, get some dubs with Ethan's Dragapult. Be sure to go on over to hitmonchanting.com, get yourself a playmat, some prize packs, some regular packs, some singles, and more. Every single purchase helps me and supports the channel, and also check out my other sponsors, PTCGL store for code cards, Pokemon.gg for collection tracking, and Endgame TCG for sleeves. Code Hitmon on all of those, and then head on over to Card Trader and use code Hitmon5. You can get 5% off, links in the description. They're going first. I'm getting scared. Hopefully it's not Donk, because I will crash out. There's a high chance it's Donk. I'm gonna stay silent until we know further information. Okay, it's not Donk. Thankfully. It's Raging Bolt. And Raging Bolt is a very interesting matchup for sure. I don't hate this matchup at all anymore because we have such an easy way to one-shot active bolts. We don't need to like go do crazy setup and this and that. We just one-shot the Raging Bolt. Even Dragapult, that traditionally had a like tough matchup against Bolt but winnable matchup, I feel like now with Typhlosion it's just insane. You just blow it out of the water. It's just a crazy way to to beat Bolt, because you can shove a one prizer in their face that just knocks them out, and then what do? They lose from there. Here comes an Ultra Ball, getting the Fan Rotom. Okay, so they do have some stuff to work with. Got to keep in mind 2 Sadas are down, as well as an Area 0 Underdepths. So it could be tough for them. We know that they are going to Noctowl next turn, but what are they Noctowling for? That is my question for you. Think about it, viewers at home. Take a peek. What do you think they're going to Noctowl for? They're retreating into the Ogerpon, so I'm guessing they're going to try an Ogerpon KO next turn. And I almost like the idea of Ethan's Adventure more than Research here. Get double Cyndaquil plus a Fire Energy, or even Quilava probably. Quilava I think is better because we have the Vessel. So we double Cyndaquil. And they're definitely thinking like, what is going on here? We can get rid of Ethan and Boss. Get another Dreepy. I think getting rid of Counter Catcher is probably what needs to be done. To get Psychic and Fire, we'll attach the Psychic to the bench. Pass it from there. Because if they don't get Vessel and KO, there's a decent shot, like... Okay, here, let me rephrase this. I'm pretty, certain they're going to grab Vessel and go for a KO on this Dreepy. We evolve to Quilava, find Ethan's Adventure, research it away. That's already 3 in the discard pile. Right? Maybe we get lucky. I should have checked, and I didn't. But maybe we get lucky and are able to swing with Pult next turn. If we swing with Pult next turn, we might be chilling. Nestball Crispin. Okay. All right. So slightly different. They're going for the Bolt angle. Thankfully for us, they can't do Baby Raging Bolt. It has to be the EX. Because if they're going for the Baby, they're not KOing anything on the bench. We have Quilava for next turn. I'm liking this setup. Here's Big Bolt. They can set it up. They can retreat. They can go into the Bolt and swing. I think genuinely a better play for them though is to just go ahead and Burst Roar. I think that's way better in this situation because you have no follow-up. But they're going for Bellowing Thunder. I'm not like 100% confident, but I'm somewhat confident that we can establish a Dragapult this coming turn. I am. Double Quilava. I do like that. Now we're ready. We're ready for these Typhlosions to just absolutely take off and destroy our opponent. Make sure we have Candy. We have Candy. The thing is we have Stamp. We have Ultra Balls. We got a lot going. We don't have Fez though. That's a bit unfortunate. But I believe. And I think that's enough. I think believing is enough. Let's attach and boom. Big research, baby. We just need to find, which we didn't find. But I don't mind going for a Budew here. Let's go do some recon. Ooh, we get Stamp. We get Stamp, guys. We get Stamp. I like this hand a lot. And yeah, gonna go for the Stamp. It's one less card only. But this is why. We need these Buddy-Buddy Poffins to happen right here. I'm gonna fail this one and just use the second one. We did prize Dreepy, so that's not great, but I'm gonna itch so hard with this Pollen right here. And no Ultra Ball is gonna be able to help them get another Noctowl. No Night Stretcher is gonna be able to help them get a Noctowl. They can just have Sada. But they can't Prime Catcher here, which is another big thing of Budew in this place. Yeah, you Bellowing Thunder. Okay. They just are able to get rid of this Budew. Yeah. Now, if we find our great pals, Typhlosion, it's going to be a disaster for them. I feel it in my bones. Fire Energy is a great start. Let's go for an Iono. I think putting a Budew down, no, it is a liability because this Dreepy can't get killed with 2 energy on Baby Raging Bolt. Ooh, how I love and adore to see a hand like this. Actually nuts. Let's get the Candy, or do we want the Super Rod? Now the Candy's better right here. Don't glitch, game. Game, please don't glitch. Oh my, oh. Please, game, do not glitch. Oh, we're good. Okay, we're good. This Drakloak is just stuck here, but we're good. We can get another Drakloak happening without this Candy. Keep this Ultra Ball. We EXP share. Oh, we are so cooking. We are cooking to the nth degree. This is infinite cooking right here. Please don't glitch out on me again, game. Bring my Drakloak back. Where did he go? Alright, he's back. And I can't. Okay, now we can retreat. Nice. Go into Typhlosion. We're back to normal. I think throwing the EXP share here is more beneficial. Because if they go for... No, throwing it... Let's throw it there. And let's Buddy Blast. I was just thinking, but it doesn't really matter. Because if they Jamming Tower, we don't get utility anyway. So it's better to have the flexibility of another Drakloak powered up when we have the Fire Energy in hand. Now, this Hawlucha is also fantastic for us because we can drop Hawlucha and then go for a boss or counter catcher play with a Dragapult and get rid of this Ogre Pawn on the bench. And now this is the great part of the deck, and this is why this list is so much better at dealing with Raging Bolt than any other Dragapult variant, because it can still have that aspect of like getting bullied to the point where you can't realistically, what's it called? Like, you can get bullied where you can't establish anything. But the problem in regular Dragapult is like when the baby Raging Bolt is sniping you, you can't keep up with energy attachments. But at a certain point, you evolve to Typhlosion, you counter catch your up a 2-prizer, single attachment, and explode them. And then from there, they have to deal with that single prizer. And hopefully, fingers crossed, your EXP share sets off, and you can get back into the game that way. But even if not, you can go for a second Typhlosion. And then, if you really play properly, because they don't have hand disruption, you go for a third Typhlosion, and you win the game that way. Otherwise, if you're a regular Dragapult with like either no Dusknoir or even with Dusknoir, as soon as they start poking down your Pokemon that you attach to, you lose the game. Straight up lose the game. There's no way for you to come back. Another tool in the toolbox for Dragapult. I've genuinely been adoring this list. This list is insanely fun. I gotta get it built. I gotta get it proper and ready to go. But anyways, while we get back to the digital game, because I'm thinking of building it in real life already, our opponent went for a Fez. They flipped the script. They Earthen Vessel. They Sada. They're kind of ready to go. But we have a single prize board state. And this is where things get actually insanely challenging for them is, okay, you can take out this Typhlosion. I can respond with Typhlosion or respond with Dragapult. Either way, I put you in a situation that... What? Iron Leaves. You know what? More power to you. I can still KO it with another Dragapult, but more power to you. Or with another Typhlosion. And at this point too, we have enough draw that we can go Arven. Yeah, let's keep that fire energy for sure. Like, look at how sick this is. We're going to keep the single prize board state. We're going to get another Typhlosion happening. Buddy-Buddy Poffin is great. Let's recon once again. Dragapult is good. We're going to have some nice little glitch action happening here. Don't know why it's happening. Don't ask me, but we're living. Recon Directive once again. Another Ultra Ball's probably just better. We'll let it do its thing. He's going to just float up there a little bit, I guess. I think I would like to go... Swing with Paltier isn't the best idea, honestly. But... don't tell me I just can't select the Rod. Come on, game. I literally just want to select the Rod. That's all I want to do here. That's crazy. Well, okay. Sure. I guess. Now, at this point, I think going for a Dragapult is the best option here. Because their energy is locked on this Iron Leaves. You can attach to Quilava here. You can drop Hawlucha. Yes, that's fine. Entry. We can even take out the Fan Rotom. That brings us to 3. That doesn't really do much, though. So we can start pinging here. And here is fine. Then, honestly, we Phantom Dive. Go do our traditional 4. 1, and we have 1 extra. We'll put on the Fan Rotom, I guess. Because then, if they bring something else up, we can just swing and then KO the Fan Rotom as well. No, we wouldn't even need to. We just KO the Iron Leaves. It's fine. You know what? The Fan Rotom is fine there. He's just hanging out. But again, I can't keep stressing this enough. having the Typhlosion as your single prize, like, just absolute beat stick is great, because if we didn't have Typhlosion also, they would be the same in the prize trade, more or less. Be the same. Again, they can knock out this Dragapult here. If they do that with the Raging Bolt, if they knock out the Dragapult, then we just go ahead with the other Dragapult, thanks to that EXP share, and we get moving. Get moving, we get grooving, and we just destroy them that way. The one thing about this approach is, if we went up with Typhlosion, we would have removed a lot of energy off the board, and like, we would have kept the single prize trade different. My philosophy, though, is, like, let's say somehow they reset the Iron Leaves. No, but they can't even do that. They can't. I was gonna say, what if they reset the Iron Leaves and KO with it again, but they can't, because I want to keep Counter Catcher online. That's my whole thing. If by keeping Counter Catcher online, like, let's say they establish a clean Raging Bolt, then Counter Catcher becomes really important, because then they would go down to what's it called, 1 prize remaining instead of 2 prizes remaining, whereas we would have gone to 2 prizes as well. And then that's the reason why it was good not to attack with Typhlosion there, but it's still a good backup attacker. They have to discard a lot of energy. If we're able to go KO plus Iono, it could still be difficult for them to come back from that. Energy Switch is a great card to have, especially in a list that plays Iron Leaves. I think that's for Grimmsnarl. I don't know why you necessarily need it when you have Ogerpon, but I think it's for Grimmsnarl. And now, yeah, they're prepped. They're ready to go and KO this Dragapult EX, but we just have the dub in our hand. The Jamming Tower, I also do not care about, because we kept that Night Stretcher from the Arven earlier. So, again, they played it right. That's really all they can do. Oh, but wait, they can actually... they can discard the leaves from the board. Why didn't they discard the leaves? They lost themselves the game. Why didn't you... what? Why? They do have an Iono. Okay. Things are interesting. They're heating up once again. I did not expect them to have the Iono there, but it was working good. I should have swung with Typhlosion. I really should have swung with the Typhlosion there. Is the game just going to glitch out? Okay, we still have a pretty solid shot. Bellowing Thunder, 350. Discard everything. Because they kept the leaves for whatever reason, we should have an out to winning the game pretty easily here. Worst case scenario, we swing with Typhlosion and get the KO, but I would rather not like to do that. And we just Arven and get what we need, which is pretty good here. Or we just draw into Psychic Energy because we're goated that way. And hopefully the game lets me play. Okay, you're good there. Can I evolve you? Oh, we can. All right, game, thank you. Yeah, we got Dragapult, we Phantom Dive, set this guy up, get rid of the leaves. I don't know why they didn't get rid of the leaves. That was a terrible, terrible play. We also misplayed, though. Like, we definitely 100%, I say we, it was me. I should have definitely KO'd with the Typhlosion there. That would have guaranteed the win. But you live and you learn, and either way we still won, so hey, how can I complain? This is a deck that does prefer to go second because we want to be able to use like a turn 1 Ethan's Adventure plus a Budew. That is kind of our dream. Now, Ethan's Adventure is a really interesting supporter in this deck because it allows us to kind of consistently, like, obviously set up our Ethan's Pokemon, but it's also a great way to just be able to find a 3 fire energy whenever you want. This would have been a great hand if we had a basic. I actually would have been ecstatic about this if we were going first, but we're not going first, and that's kind of sad. And now, let's just see what we get. We got 3 mulligans. Our opponent knows exactly what we're playing, and they're thinking, why are they doing this? This is a decent hand as well for going first. As long as we have that Poffin plus attach, we're kind of doing okay. Metal Energy might be against Goldengo. And Goldengo is an interesting matchup for Dragapult usually because, ooh, okay, it's Duraladon. Duraladon with the Hops package. Very interesting, but very winnable. We're going to get Cyndaquil, get Dreepy. We have some Drakloaks. We got our full Ethan's package here. We are ready for the prime time. Now, I think I do want to attach to this Dreepy. What are the chances it gets knocked out? I'm not sure that they're super high, and I'm hoping they aren't, but, you know, it's all about the journey. Journey together. But that's in Rivals. Never mind. That was terrible. But yeah, we have a semi-decent setup here. Okay, so their Duraladon is purely for acceleration. They got the Choice Band on the Zacian. They got the Energy. Do they have a Switch or something? Hopefully not. They have Arven, so they definitely do. Unless they don't play one. That would be great for us. Or they might play Latias. That would be bad for us. But they can take out the Dreepy. Then, at least through that, we get to just Arven for Stamp and pray. Yeah, they play the Switch. Okay, that's fine. I'm actually not so super upset about that. It could definitely be worse. They have the Switch. They're doing enough. That's 90. And they're probably going to target the other Dreepy down. That makes sense to me. But as long as we can establish a successful Typhlosion, I think we should be okay here. Because once we get Typhlosion to up and online and it's one-shotting these Zacians, nothing else on their board can one-shot it. Well, okay, a Cramorant can if they got Postwick. But here's an Insta-Strike. Yeah, going on the Dreepy, that makes sense. I think Arven into a Stamp might be correct here. It's going to be interesting to find out, and find out is exactly what we're going to do. We do get Iono, but I think I want to Arven, or do we just go for a setup play? Do we just go Budew? Maybe we just go for the Budew here. I don't mind that. Yeah, we go Budew. We can get another Dreepy here. I have a feeling this one will get knocked out. Can also Stretcher if we want. Get the other Dreepy up and online. But I kind of like the Budew angle. I do want to Ultra Ball at least to grab a Ethan's Adventure off this Quilava here. I don't know if we're going to end up playing it next turn. But we'll see. Playing it's not the worst idea. Because actually I actually kind of like this play. Hopefully we item lock them. Well, we are item locking them. Hopefully they don't take out this Quilava. We then Bonded by the Journey, play the Ethan's Adventure, get another Ethan's Adventure, of course, off that Bonded by the Journey. No, an Iono. That's fine. That's another great reason that we have Quilava in here, is because we get the free Ethan's Adventure whenever we need it. So that one card that was hopefully going to save us in this matchup, we kind of just get here for free. And, you know, once we take out the Zacian, this Cramorant is prime. It's primed and ready to strike and take out our Typhlosion. So we need to be very, very careful here that we also establish the other Cyndaquil and we get ready to go that way. But I think we're in a really decent spot because we have an Ultra Ball in our hand, an Ethan's Adventure as well. I do think playing it is a good idea because we are going to want to establish just some more Pokemon. We can Buddy-Buddy Poffin here, get Cyndaquil. I don't want this Budew, definitely not. And go for the Ethan's Adventure. We can get some Fire Energy, this Cyndaquil for the other turn, or Quilava, and even another Fire Energy is okay. Then we evolve. We're going to end up attaching. And we will have enough. But let's go for the Recon Directive first. EXP share is exactly what we need here. Can do this. Oh, we're only doing 200. Psych. Let's get rid of the boss. I don't think we're going to really need it. And we can also grab ourselves another Drakloak here. And you can kind of see how this general game plan is starting to move. We got Drakloak. Now we can get even more good cards. I do like the Jamming Tower for later on. I do like it. Because we're just probably going to research next turn. So let's get this Jamming Tower. We're not going to play it. EXP share on the Drakloak. And your buddy, you're getting blasted. 320, getting rid of the Zacian. And we get to take 2 prizes. Unfortunately, this Cramorant can very easily return KO us because it's doing 120, 150, 180 with the Snorlax. But then this EXP share allows us to move the energy, keep it alive and well on this Drakloak. And then we can knock out this Cramorant, set up the Zacian, or even set up the Duraladon. Because if they ever decide to go for a Metal Defender against us, we can still knock it out with Ethan's Typhlosion in the later part of the game. So that is pretty dang cool if you ask me. Here comes an Ultra Ball, and I'm guessing it could be getting a the Archaladon right now. That doesn't seem like unlikely for them to do, because they start to power up the Zacian. Then when we bring up the Dragapult, it just gets one shot by the Zacian. Like, it's not the worst play on the planet. But I do think right now... Oh, another Zacian. Okay, maybe the Duraladon, or Archaladon, I should say, maybe it's prized. That would be pretty good for us. But here's Fickle Spitting. Yeah, 180's not great. I don't love it, but I do love that EXP share saving our butt here, allowing us to follow our dreams. So let's draw for turn, do the whole shebang. Fezandipiti is interesting here. Bonded by the Journey. Gonna get that Ethan's Adventure. And now we have Rod and we have Stretcher. So we're okay. We got some Pult. We got some Ultra Ball. Hopefully we find it after this research. I think attaching here is still the best call, because if we want to attach later, it's just one attachment. So let's start with the retreat angle. Go for the Jamming Tower. I do think I want to put the Fez down. It's kind of risky, but I think I just think we need it, just in case we don't find what we need. Which thankfully we do find, but let's flip the script anyways first. We get Stamp, which is interesting. Let's go for a Recon Directive. Counter Catcher. I also like the Counter Catcher, because we can Counter Catcher a Zacian and potentially ruin their day. Another Ethan's Adventure? Why didn't you say so? We'll evolve to the Dragapult. So we're doing 200. I don't mind going for a Super Rod here. Getting back like Dreepy, Psychic, and Fire. And just getting another Dreepy down from this. Like, I don't think we're ever going to need Jacq, and we'll just ditch the Ethan's Adventure. Let's get this Dreepy down, because then if we find Drakloak, it's just more cycling. It just cycles from there. We could also Unfair Stamp them, but last turn, they didn't play a supporter, I don't think. So I don't want to really risk that. I'd rather just bring up this Zacian. Swing, I don't want to take a KO. Yeah, I think leaving the Stamp is fine for later on. Let's Phantom Dive. And then I think 3 here and 3 on the Duraladon is good. Because then, well, right now, then next turn, if they can't, like, KO this Dragapult or remove this damage somehow, we just boss and win. But in the following turn, like, if they somehow are able to get an Archaladon play, like, out of absolutely nowhere, if they can do that, okay, they're bumping the Jamming Tower. That's not the worst thing in the world, because they do need Archaladon to power this guy up, plus a way to retreat. Anyways, if they go for an Archaladon play, they will have 270 HP remaining. And then we can still KO with Ethan's Typhlosion. Alright, they got rid of the Zacian. I can definitely see them going for a Cramorant here. Yeah, going for the Cramorant is a solid idea, because obviously they still get a huge chunk of damage, and they have a research in hand. Dang. They get a huge chunk of damage on this Dragapult. Here comes the Metal Defender itself, and they're going to assemble some Alloy. Maybe the Unfair Stamp would have been better last turn, because now I kind of want to destroy the, like, I kind of want to bring up this Archaladon. Fickle Spinning. Yeah, that does suck. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to bring up this Archaladon and like destroy it, which we can actually. So let's do that. Let's start with Recon Directive. Oh, hi Typhlosion. It is nice to see you. You're exactly the person I was looking for. I do want to Bonded by the Journey here just to take a peek at what we have going on. We have 2 energies. So because there's 2 fires here, we'll get rid of the Psychic. All right. We got some motion. We got some movement. That's what I love about this deck, is how it is so insanely versatile. Right now, we can Earthen Vessel. We'll keep, I think getting rid of the Rare Candy is just the best play. We'll get both of these energies out. And we're already at 8 cards left in deck. And we're not a turbo deck. Like, isn't that crazy? Get rid of the Psychic. Go into Typhlosion. Boss's Orders. Goodbye, fully powered up Zacian. It's time that you get Buddy blasted. And then it's gone. And now, or maybe I should have brought up the Archaladon and left that for later. Maybe that would have been better. But anyways, they're not KOing this Dragapult with the Cram or anything like that. You can Insta-Strike me. You can't get rid of this Typhlosion. I don't think there's a world in which this Typhlosion gets knocked out this turn. So if we just Buddy Blast again, then we're kind of fine. I'm curious to see what they will get with this Arven, though. It's not like they're playing Matang or anything like that. Redeemable ticket. If that's what you want, who am I to judge? I'm no one to judge. But I think that this game is kind of wraps. Like, I don't think there's a way in which we lose. We have a way to retreat. The only thing they can do is bring up like Snorlax and pass. But if they do that, if they don't put any additional pressure on us, they just lose the game. Like, straight up, they lose the game. Then, like, I mean, I think we're down 2 boss, so we can't just like, oh, find boss and win. But what we can do is like whatever we want. And that's the beauty of it. I think that these 2 cards really complement each other in a very nice way, especially because a lot of Dragapult lists are moving away from Dusknoir and moving more towards straight Dragapult with Monkey Dory, that having a card that can help you so easily one-shot a Dragapult is pretty good. Yeah, so like you can't do any damage to the bench Terra because, you know, it's a Terra, and now we just, that's cool. Boom! It's I didn't time that, they just conceded. But look at that. Ethan's Dragapult. I'm making it a thing. We got Tails. And it do not fail, let me tell you. Let me tell you how wrong I am. Constantly, actually. Like, it does at a certain point kind of feel like the game is mocking me. And we get to go first. Wow, what a great time. But for going first, this is actually a good hand. So I'm not going to complain too hard. The next turn, we Ethan's Adventure. We start to establish that board. Okay. I don't mind it. I really don't mind it. Pikachu EX, so we know that this is Joltik. Most likely. It's most likely Joltik. Let's do this. Could get Quilavas out. Like, we could get a Cyndaquil as well. And go from there. But I do want to utilize Budew, maybe? Excuse me. I do think getting Cyndaquil's better. We have enough Ethan's Adventures to allow us to, like, establish a board that solely relies on the Ethan's Adventure. I think that's a decent call. Once we get to that point, then we can just throw some Typhlosions in their face and there won't be much they can do about it. Secret Box, Rescue Board, that sounds about right. And now let's see the Secret Box come through. There's a Nest Ball going to reveal that it is, in fact, drumroll please, Joltik Box. Yeah, there's some Miraidon. So, yeah, I'm expecting them fully, to get this whole Joltik play going. They're not sure what stadium they're going to get. That's going to be a little bit interesting here. Because if they play Gravity Mountain, I don't think it changes things for us too much. It does enable them to go, like, Iron Hands with Future Booster, and then deal 180 plus 140 on a Dragapult for 3 prizes. Like, to go, what's it called? No, they don't even need. Future Booster lets them do that anyway without the Gravity Mountain. So I don't know what stadium they're playing in here. Could be Jamming Tower. Oh, Area 0. Wait. Is this just Miraidon? Like old school Miraidon with Area 0? This is going to be interesting. This is going to be insanely interesting. Because if they are able to establish a hands here, that's something that I'm going to be scared of. I'm actually really going to be scared of them getting a turn 2 or turn 1 hands. Pichu. Whoa, okay. This is kind of sick. Kind of a cool list. Magnemite. Been a while. Nice to see you again. I like the Pichu in here. Ooh. I might have to steal that. Okay, they're only getting 1. Second generator. If they get 2, though, I don't think they can KO on the bench. Unless they just have Hawlucha in hand. They can just KO the active, right? With multi-shot lightning. Yeah, the bench has to have damage counters on it. So they just are able to smack the active. This is... Okay, I kind of rock with this, actually. I really rock with this idea. Zapdos EX is a card I forgot about that I think is kind of better than people give it credit for. But we're going to lead with Dreepy. Ethan's Adventure is the motive here. We got our own Hawlucha, which is going to be good for later. And I do think this is kind of going to have to be how it goes. For now, we probably are just we're gonna have to struggle a little bit, which isn't a bad thing, but we have a couple ways to get things moving here. Let's start. Get rid of this Ethan's Adventure. Honestly, get rid of... I kind of want to keep the Hawlucha, but we have the Stretcher that we can use. So let's get rid of that. No Fez, so it's going to be Drakloak that we are using to assist us through this portion of the game, I'll say. Recon Directive here. Oh, another one. I kind of do like getting this Drakloak and Night Stretchering back the other Dreepy. Now, again, this is going to be a little challenging, but I think by counter-catching this Iron Hands, we'll attach to the Drakloak for now. Hopefully they don't just like have Switcher Latias in hand. And the turn, you got 2 cards. What are you going to do with them? One, you didn't know what both of them were. So you're going all crazy for that Zapdos play. I'm very hopeful. Indeed, I am very hopeful for this game. Because even though our hand kind of bad, look at the power of Drakloak and Quilava combined. There's... What? There's no shot. I genuinely refuse to believe that happened. There's a first time for everything, I guess. That's actually insane. That's insane to me. Well, let's start by getting bonded by the journey. Let's get Ethan's Adventure. We're going to play this Ethan's Adventure. I don't want to do anything with this yet. Get Quilava, Fire, and Typhlosion. Now we're in a good spot. I'd like to Ethan's Adventure again, because right now the Typhlosion is going to be doing 220, which isn't enough to get the Zapdos. But with our single Drakloak power, we might be able to get something to help us. Dreepy is good enough for me. Because later on, we can always pick off this Zapdos. So let's do 220. Again, it's got 210 HP? No, 200 HP. Bravery Charms plus 50, yeah. If they have like Hawlucha or something here, that can be tragic. But the way their board is set up this very second, it's going to be kind of difficult for them to take a big knockout unless they play like a Hawlucha plus Boss in this hand, which I would not put it past them considering they had just naturally had Switch in that hand. They didn't get it from the secret box, right? Like, I'm not tripping. They have Boss. Okay. Boss is something. Yeah, they didn't get it from the secret box. They are smacking our Drakloak in the face, though, which I'm not the hugest fan of. Admittedly, I'm not. but it leaves our Typhlosion wide open for a sweep, a potential sweep. They got Tapu Koko coming through. They're getting ready for it. Okay. There's multi-shot lightning. I almost don't want to, like, play this this Iono here. I kind of want a boss. Maybe I can have both. Because this Tapu Koko is a bigger threat than this Zapdos is right now. So let's do this. Hit that Iono so unbelievably hard. We can get that Ethan's Ethan's Adventure back with this Quilava right here. And look at the magic happen. We get the Ethan's Adventure back. We can evolve right into Typhlosion. We just get rid of this and could use Rare Candy here. And just go right into Pult. Ooh, I don't mind that. Because then we gotta find the fire energy, but we have research. This is a huge, huge hand right here. Buddy Blast 280, goodbye. Zapdos is not KOing this Typhlosion. We can return KO with the Typhlosion once again. Nothing they can hands. I don't think they play a Pikachu out here. The only kind of danger we have to be aware of is if Zapdos is on the bench and we bump Area 0, it's not going to get knocked out because they get a chance to discard it before the effect of Jamming Tower comes into play. So, got to be a bit careful on that front. But with this Arven, they can get an Ultra Ball. Or just Nest Ball. Nest Ball for Fez, probably. And they can kind of start to establish some more stuff. But I'm just curious, like, how do you respond to the situation? Because you're not able to Iron Hands. Then we don't even have to research next turn. We just Arven. We literally just Arven and find ourselves the, what's it called? And we just find ourselves the Vessel. And the Vessel gets us there. And then we research the following turn. That's insane. Flip the script, get more. Zero Aura is not doing anything to this Dragapult. Because you see, I'm pointing at the screen. You can't like see me point, but there's a Terra icon. And that means that Zero Aura ain't doing nothing to this board. This board is impenetrable. This board is unstoppable. Now, I won't be surprised if they go into a Pichu angle here. That seems like their best option at this point. Yeah. Which isn't terrible. Because if you Pichu, you get to draw. And there's a chance that we go even on prizes here. Right? Not the worst from them. Now, we didn't use any boss yet. So going for the research might be the play. Just to get a boss for later on. I do like the EXP share here. I don't really want to... Anything Hawlucha can do this second? Not really, right? Like... Yeah, not really. Let's EXP share on the Typhlosion. Even Hands is not going to be able to KO this Typhlosion just yet. So I'm kind of fine with the situation. I do want to leave Jamming Tower. Now, let's go for the Buddy Blast. Our board state is just too good. Like, now, basically what would happen is if they pop the Magneton, we just got to take one prize. Or two prize knockout, I mean. And we're good in that regard. Zero Aura is not doing anything to us. I'm not worried about it at all. Even if they push us to the bench and swing with Zapdos, they just lose, right? Like, multi-shot lightning isn't going to do anything here. I don't think they can power up Mew EX. I'm happy. I am joyous with this board state. It's always nice to dunk on Miraidon. Here comes good old-fashioned Magneton. Now, if they would be very kind, and swing with Miraidon against this Ethan's Typhlosion, enabling me to just Stretcher and blow up their Zapdos. That'd be cool. Or even just blow up their Miraidon with my Typhlosion. That'd be sick as well. See, the great thing about this deck as well, I said as well a lot in the past, like, few times. But the great thing about this deck is not only into, like, Miraidon, but into other big basics that Dragapult is kind of struggling against right now, like Raging Bolt, thanks to that baby Raging Bolt. If you're able to establish enough of a, like, threatening presence... Why did they attach to Zero Aura? You can't... Please don't try and KO me on the bench, dude. Oh man. Now I just feel bad. I just feel bad. There's the scoop. Yeah, I feel bad. Yeah, I feel bad about that. Because then they had somewhat of a game plan, right? But they go Iron Hands it, but sorry, man. I don't like Terras either, you know. Now, once again, what do you think of Ethan's Dragapult? I am a really big fan of this list. Here's a reminder, just in case you want to take a look at it once again. I really do like this list. I think that it combines the best of both worlds between Dragapult and Ethan's, and each of the cards fixes their respective, like, poor matchups. Ethan's Adventure as a card is actually still really good. In the Dragapult deck, you can get yourself a Fire Energy off of a supporter for free, which could be the difference between retreating under Budew or not, right? It also acts as a pseudo Buddy-Buddy Poffin, which is kind of the bigger reason, where you can get double Cyndaquil and get an energy for attachment, like for turn pretty much, which is another big problem Dragapult can sometimes have. It's pretty wild. It is pretty wild. I'm really a big fan of this list. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Test it out. Give me some feedback. If you're like someone who wants to play meta and wants to play something fun, I think this is the list for you. As always, like, comment, subscribe, do all that. Check out the sponsors down below. And until next time, Hitmonchanting is out. Just wanted to take a second to thank our channel members. As of right now, my one and only channel member is Rahat M9. Thank you so much for supporting the Hitmonchanting channel. If you too would like to support the Hitmonchanting channel, you can take a look at the membership link below. Lots of different levels and exclusive perks like videos, discounts, and more.